Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of the Road to Glory. And today we're gonna talk about some of the stuff that's come out over the week. This video was supposed to come out. I think it was like Friday or Thursday, but hashtag, not hashtag. What's his name again? Harry Heskett uploaded a past and present Chelsea squad, and he pretty much nailed it with the players and the team and the gameplay, and he's just phenomenal. So that video was more worth it, I would say, than mine for the day, because can't have two of those things, especially when he's so big. But the team he put together was really nice, and it's always appreciated when people do those types of things, past and presents. It doesn't matter what the team is. They're always nice to see compared to your everyday meta. But here we are with our Road to Glory, and we're going to get straight into it with some gameplay of the last weekend's weekend league. We're gonna show, I think, 2 clips of the qualifications, and then we're gonna get through basically everything, and then up until today, which is Saturday, which is the day after foot birthday has already begun. I didn't upload anything for Silver Stars because it was Silver Stars. There was nothing for me to engage with, but apparently there wasn't. We're gonna get into that stuff around the middle of the video, and then at the end we're gonna talk about how the 2 players that came out, how they were, and then I think we're gonna end it off there because for birthday has started, and for right now there's nothing for us. At the time of recording, EA did drop some icon moments, so in the next episode we'll take a look at those and see how they might be able to improve our squad if we can afford them. Obviously, the icon swaps or the icon moments cards will be very expensive right now, but maybe later down the line they'll be a lot cheaper. Maybe they get an SBC and we can craft, etc. And I'm pretty sure they'll drop more icon moments as the weeks go on. They always like to do it in batches. I don't know why, but that's just their thing. But let's get right into the gameplay. So qualifications was about as easy as it could have been. I mean, we did well. I forget if we won like 4 games. I'm pretty sure we had to win 4 games, and we did just that. However, the problem with recording post games is rage quits tend to cancel out some of the goals, and sometimes we got a rage quit like very early on in the game, so we couldn't really see the full goal. Sometimes it would just be like we get a goal in like inside 10 minutes and then they quit and we can't even see the highlight of it. And I know I could get the clips from my Xbox because we have that instant feature with the controller button, but qualifications isn't all that. So sometimes we score a lot like we did in this game, so there's not really much need for 2 extra games to demonstrate that we did qualify. And at this moment in time, as you would have seen by now, Silver Stars is now over, so you'll know that the 2 players that we got via SBCs were BRUYNE and Desailly Musonda. And I think for this game I might have already used the BRUYNE. He wasn't the main focus for qualifications because it was like it's qualifications, it could be whatever, there's no pressure for anything really. And so we got into weekend league, and I think the one red that we really wanted was Rudiger. I think that was the team of the week that we wanted it from, unless that was last week, which I don't remember. But if we don't get the res that we want, we essentially just want fodder. And we got some rewards from qualifying, which are always nice to have, but they never really deliver. I don't remember the last time they ever delivered for me, which is why I probably stopped playing FUT Champs, because qualifications suck unless you go like 10-0 or something, or 9-0. But yeah, here we go. We got the BRUYNE's Silver Stars item, and I'm pretty sure with this I ended up selling our gold first owner De Bruyne, but I did take a screenshot of his stats before we did let him go. So we'll have that in memory for the end of the Road to Glory. But for right now, we got a decent De Bruyne to replace him with. Obviously, being silver, I was kind of skeptical about it, because the stats are technically worse. They're technically better. Some areas are better, some areas are worse. His pace got a boost from 76 to 80. So with that in mind, I did want to give him an engine as opposed to a shadow, just because I wanted to boost that dribbling and make his passing about as close as it can be to his normal gold card. And obviously with the engine, his pace gets boosted up to what his pace would be on a shadow with his normal card. So I didn't really see that there would be a drop in his speed to recover going up and down the pitch. Obviously, as a center mid, it's very important that he's able to come back as quick as possible to add to defensive duties. And here is probably one of the examples of the game not giving us the goal. Like, obviously the highlights show that it was 1-1, but we ended up winning, which is why he rage quit. And that goal from De Bruyne was kind of showed me that he sometimes would be a bit of a cheat code, sometimes not. But the gameplay is the gameplay at times can be very heavy, and even though he has good enough composure to do well in heavy gameplay, it's just annoying to play in heavy gameplay. Like, players are not as silky as I want them to be, and making a mistake can be very costly. And here we got done by Smith Rowe, who his Future Stars card is actually pretty good. But we end up taking the win here. This guy was tough as they come for our skill level. Yeah, Drogba and Eto'o are just too good to be dropped. I think when we tried out Musonda, when we tried him out, we did drop. We did have to drop either Drogba or Eto'o, and I ended up dropping Drogba because I knew that up front I wanted somebody that was good at dribbling and not going to be clunk master. Which Drogba is a bit clunky, but like you can't really tell sometimes because he's usually making forward runs and doesn't move around too much, because that's usually the role I give for the right striker. You know, they don't really have to do anything. They just have to make sure that their shots are on target and, you know, just deliver for us. And Drogba's been doing that, so I'm very happy with him. You know, being taking away Timo Werner, I thought, you know, he might be the same value. I would say, like maybe De Bruyne and maybe Drogba and Eto'o would be like more of a head-to-head clash. Like, maybe Eto'o would be a much better striker. Maybe he would be on fraud watch, because I was looking back at old gameplay, and we actually did have icon moments Eto'o, but That was like very late into the cycle, but this time around we actually got Eto'o very early in the game. I say very early, but it was like team of the year, post team of the year. But it's still earlier than anything for us.
And good evening on what is a perfect night for football. The floodlights
and
shining down on the
replacing Pulisic was probably the hardest part when it comes to trying out different players, because when we tried out Mount, it didn't seem like he offered much. It didn't seem like he was going above and beyond what Pulisic would be able to do, and obviously the 3-star skill moves is one of the important things for that camp position. You know, you gotta have good skills and good weave. You can't just be anybody in that position. Yeah, these were our reds. Not that great. We didn't get Rudiger. Lafont and Ito were two of the ones I was trying to see which one I should take. I knew Lafont. I had a normal inform, so I was thinking of taking Ito, but Ito is Japanese in the Belgian league, and that would be much harder to link than a Frenchman in the Liga. Like that's way too easy to link, so I went with him. And yeah, this is the SBC. This is what we threw in for Charlie. Wasn't very expensive. These silver stars SBCs are not that expensive, which is good, because if any of them were over like 50k, they're not 100% worth. And there you go. That was the team we had. Pulisic would be left striker, Eto's right striker, and Musonda would come in as cam, because I didn't want to try Musonda as any of the strikers, because he's just too weak to handle that position. So I thought Cam would probably be his best option, and if he can't do that, then he gets put in the reserves, and we move on from there. And at first, he was very much a ghost in a lot of the games for rivals. We did get our 8 wins, obviously doing our method of winning 2, losing 2, winning 2, losing 2.
Is it gonna be Pulisic?
And yeah, he just didn't feel that good. We give him a marksman because it would boost his shooting, and it would boost the 3 dribbling stats that weren't good enough, in my opinion. The only problem I think is his composure. He's got 80 composure, and that 80 composure can be very dangerous in good and bad gameplay, because the 80 composure means he won't hold up the ball as well as other players will, because the idea around composure is like the more pressed you are, the more likely you'll make a mistake if you have low composure, versus people with higher composure will be able to just like not make as many mistakes as one would do, even if they have like 3 or 4 men that are surrounding him. And that was one thing that I really didn't like from Musonda. I know he had some decent performances, but I just didn't feel like it was worth keeping him in the team, especially with the idea of that we had to drop Drogba. That was the one thing I didn't like, because it felt like at times that Eto'o was missing someone, because Pulisic and Eto'o are very nimble, I would say, and it's not necessarily a bad thing, but the way I like to play, I like to have one that's just straight up a tank, and the other one's a lot more nimble, and that's what Eto'o and Drogba were, versus like Eto'o and Pulisic. There's 2 guys that are very nimble and require some strength. And yeah, the BRUYNE card has been growing on me. Obviously, we grinded a lot for Connor to just drop him immediately for a silver, but it can't be helped. Maybe sometimes we'll swap them both. Maybe the BRUYNE will be saved for rivals only, and Connor will be saved for FUT champs or something, because you know the BRUYNE's still a good card. The only problem is, you know, we did his SBC, so like we have to do something with him, and we can't just throw him into something else because he's 74 rated, which is the downside for doing these kinds of SBCs, especially with the fact that the SBC is under 50k, and most cards that are fodder would be more expensive than that, and the BRUYNE on the market is like 50-ish k, and he's 91 rated, and that's kind of like my issue with the Silver Stars SBCs, because you gotta think about those kinds of prices. Not everything is the strict value that it has to be, but you know, I always think about those things. Whenever there's a SBC that we can complete for the Road to Glory, I have to think about where my budget is going, because I tend to hold a lot of my coins or invest it into something to try to increase them, because right now we're sitting on 100k, and I've been thinking about getting some more cards to invest in with the 100k, and see if we can make it that 100k into 200k, because we still have the other 100k into some other investments. But yeah, in the thumbnail we have Desailly in the middle because he also came out, and I'm also on the fence of whether to do him or not, because he's faster than Sarr. He probably has a lot better defending than Sarr. But he has way less dribbling, so I don't know if that's a issue or something I want to go down the road with. That goal was cheap, but you know, we take those. But yeah, Desailly, I don't know if I want to do him or not, and we went back to the old team because, you know, we want Pulisic there in the middle, helping out Drogba and Eto'o. But yeah, that's gonna be the end of the video. I know it's a bit longer than usual, but can't be helped. We had to cover a lot of stuff, a lot of the gameplay over the week, but hopefully you guys enjoyed. And next time we will have maybe a pack opening, because I did save my packs from Rivals and from Weekend League, so maybe we can get something good. I will see you guys later. Peace.